message of hope, a message of love to our people and the rest of the world for the rest of the 90s. In time. We seem to feel that life is over just because we throw a few pennies down the gutter. We seem to feel everything is lost, so we're fighting to get back something at any cost. But while we're fighting, and we fighting just to get back that little something, we forgetting we know nothing of this world in which we live in. Someone greater put this world together, so we must remember. In times of plenty we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong. In times of joy we must be thankful. But life really has its up and its down. In times of disaster we must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watchword from your lover, black darling, tomorrow would be a better day for you and you and you. We meet a world today with 4 seasons. Now who is we to try and find out what's the reason and what goes wrong, so must come back wrong, so why that is so nobody don't know. And there are so much other mysteries that nobody still can answer. So we just gotta sit thanks and keep looking to the future, because this world is not yours to control, it is just to behold. In times of plenty we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong. In times of joy we must be thankful. For life really has its up and its down. In times of disaster we must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watchword from your lover, black darling, tomorrow would be a better day for you and you and me. As we go through this life we live in, we must know by now that this world owes us nothing. So live your life and just enjoy it. And let's try to leave this world better than we find it. Because the maker of this world with nobody have no contract, it have no paper that could tell you yesterday is going to come back. Look ahead, for tomorrow you're dead. After all is said, in times of plenty we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong. In times of joy we must be thankful. For life really have its up and it's done. In times of disaster, you must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watchword from your lover, black darling, tomorrow would be a better day. Keep the faith, keep strong. We meet a world today with 4 seasons. Now who is we to try and find out what's the reason and what goes wrong? So must come back wrong. So why that is so? Nobody don't know. And there are so much other mysteries that nobody still can answer. So we just gotta sit thanks and keep looking to the future, because this world is not yours to control. It is just to behold. In times of plenty, we must be grateful. In times of sorrow, we must be strong. In times of joy, we must be thankful. For life really has its up and its down. In times of disaster, we must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watchword from your lover, black darling, tomorrow would be a better day for you and you and me. As we go through this life we live in, we must know by now that this world owes us nothing. So live your life and just enjoy it. And let's try to leave this world better than we find it. Because the maker of this world with nobody have no contract, it have no paper that could tell you yesterday is going to come back. Look ahead, for tomorrow you're dead. After all is said, in times of plenty we must be grateful. In times of sorrow we must be strong. In times of joy we must be thankful. For life really have its up and its down. In times of disaster you must be ready to get together and move racism out the way. And if you listen to this watchword from your lover, black darling, tomorrow would be a better day. Keep the faith, keep strong.
Good evening and welcome to Politics 101. Monday, Monday. Please share the link. Please share the link and let everyone know.
No, this can't be my country. No, not sweetie auntie. The good old days, the old-fashioned ways, tell me where did they go? We've grown so callous, so cold. Oh Lord, the country done lost its soul. There's too much pain, on knees we must stay. Come on, Trinbago. That is why I'm calling for one day of prayer. All we need is one day of prayer. Just to reverse this blight, this curse that hangs upon us. Oh, hear me, sweet Jesus, it should be all through the year. But I will settle for one day of prayer, so that we could see back in TNT, peace and harmony. Oh, somebody hear me. Hey, hey. Oh. Oh, this can't be my people, causing so much trouble, with so much church steeple, mosque, mandir and temple all over my land. But there is no value to life. Oh Lord, intolerance, yes, it's rife. Life with disrespect, nobody don't check for their fellow man. But to save me land, I'm begging one day of prayer. All we need is one day of prayer, just to dispel these clouds, this hell that dwell among us. Oh, to stop all the chaos, it should be weekly, I swear. But I go settle for one day of prayer, so that we could see here in TNT love and unity. Tell me, do you agree with me? Blessed by the Almighty, so much natural beauty. Cave to coral reef, it is past disbelief. Yes, from coast to coast. But on envy and hate, on all these ugly things we concentrate, as if we are blind to the things divine for which we should toast. But aside from the most I'm pleading, one day of prayer, all we need is one day of prayer, to meditate, to concentrate the ties that bind us. I'm begging, hear me, sweet Jesus, we don't face no hurricane, no natural disasters, no war, no pain. We should all agree, God bless TNT. Why the misery? Tell me, somebody tell me. Oh, come together now. Hey, hey. One day I pray.
singing, Sandra, one day of prayer, one day of prayer, one day, one day. Before that, the black man in times. Good evening and welcome to Politics 101. Tragedy strikes our country. And it has found us wanting. It has found us wanting. Tragedy strikes, and it has found us wanting. As a country, as a society. We have always pleaded with our people at the top and the bottom that we must reach for our inner soul, not just the outer. We must reach below the surface. The test of a country is how it deals with tragedy, how it deals with disaster. And time again, we in Guyana have failed that test. Part of the reason is that we have lied to ourselves as a country, and we continue to lie to ourselves as a country. My prayers go out to those who have lost loved ones. None of us can understand in a personal way what those families are going through. Those who have been rescued, we stand with you because you have to deal with the trauma. It is not just that death, mass death, has come to our doors, but it is the manner of death. We've pleaded with our country to reach for our inner self. Is anybody listening? Is anybody listening? Tragedy comes. And we have found ourselves wanting. Because we have continuously lied to ourselves. You see, a country is a balance. A country is a balance. A balance between society and the politics. A balance between the humanity and politics. I've said here before that this government stinks. It has no mother. Because when you have a mother, I'm borrowing here from Brother Dick Gregory, when you have a mother, whether that mother is a father, a mother, an auntie, a grandmother, that mother takes care of you. Make sure you bathe. Take the wax out your ears, the boo-boo from your eye. Bathe you. Anoint your skin. Our government doesn't have a mother. And so it goes from day to day stinking up. And then we, the citizens, we follow the government. You can't beat them, join them. Some people call me Dr. Hines. This government is going to be in power for the next 40 years. So what you going to do? We have lost our bearings. So when tragedy strikes, we are found wanting. We lack the capacity to invoke our soul. You see, when tragedy strikes, politics, party politics, cannot deal with matters of our inner self. Singing Sandra says, we need prayers every day of the year, but she will settle for one day. One day. We go to church every Sunday. We go to church sometimes every day. We all live in communities where there are churches. We go to church, we worship. But does the nation, the society, the collective, do we go to church? The individual goes to church. The individual dealing with his or her salvation. But does the country go to church? That's what the Calypsonian is saying. We need one day of prayer, not the individual, the collective, the society. The old man beat the drum. The old man beat the old man beat the drum. But we pay no mind to the old man. He's irrelevant. Somebody told me that one of our supporters say, man, I don't listen to Dr. Hines these days because he's just giving us plenty history. We don't want history, we want to look forward. We know the old adage. If you don't know where you come from, you have no idea where you're going. This country has no way, no idea where it's going. We know the government has no idea where it's going in terms of a coherent plan. But in terms of power, whether it's economic power or political power or cultural power, the government knows where it's going. But we as a society, we have no idea where we are going. If in 2026 we make ignorant statements, like we ain't got time with history, we don't have a soul. The soul of the nation. Somebody has stolen the soul from our nation. I rather suspect who has. But we have given, as a country, as a society, we have given up our soul in times of tragedy. The soul of a people, the soul of a society is tested. Tragedy struck Saturday night. Tragedy struck. Tragedies strike from time to time, whether it's the hand of God or the hand of nature. That's not my debate tonight. Tragedy struck. Was our society ready for the tragedy? And note I'm saying the society, because the government is not the equivalent of the society. The society is much bigger than the government, but when the society surrenders itself to the whims and fancies of the government, the society has lost its soul. Tragedy struck on Saturday night. Were we ready as a society? You see, we have lied to ourselves. One Guyana. It's not even an aspiration. We're not one Guyana. After 60 years of independence and almost 80 years of independence and decolonization, the end of the Second World War, our march to nationhood. So 1966 was independence, but really self-government, limited self-government, began 20 years before. So in a sense, we are almost 80 years old. And we are still not a nation. And we keep putting off that intentional task of nationhood. And we lie to ourselves. We are not a nation. We have never settled down and tried to figure out together the ethos of nationhood. Nationhood is a joint endeavor. It's a joint endeavor. Even the British, as they were formerly leaving, they called all our representatives together. The PPP, Jagan, the PNC, Burnham, and the UF at that time, DGR, they called them to England together for them to figure out a constitution. There was a reason that they called them together, big parties and small parties. Because whatever you say about the British and the Americans and the conquerors, they have a sense of nationhood. And they wanted to leave us at least with a collective sense of nationhood. But we should have known, because we couldn't sit down and agree on a constitution. Jagan said, leave it to the white man. Burnham and DGR laid back and knew that they had Jagan trapped, and the white man gave us a constitution that benefited one side over the next side. And even at the level of a constitution, we couldn't agree. We lie to ourselves every day. We are not a nation. We are not a society with common values, common ethos. A common ethos. We have never made that a project. We have had gimmicks. One Guyana. Even our motto has become a gimmick. We have never, as a society, sat down and intentionally, together, create the framework for a joint nationhood. And we lie to ourselves every day. You see, nationhood is a collective and joint concept. I'm tired of black people, for example. They hear the guts of the PPP government, and they know that the PPP government is fooling up the Indians. And yet, they close their eyes and say, one people, one nation, one destiny. We are not one people, first of all. We are many people. Many peoples. At least 6. And we lie. The motto was meant to be aspirational. Many people working for a common ethos, creating a joint nationhood. And when you lie to yourself, you sail along with your lies. And then tragedy strikes. And you look around and there's no nation, there is no society to mourn as a nation, to deal with the tragedy that only nationhood could understand and deal with. All the political leaders have been very busy. God bless them. They've been making statements left and center. God bless them. But I choose to hang back. Because I don't think that it helps when in times of national tragedy, we make politics. We lie. And I'm trying to say to you all African Guyanese, because I think the reach of my voice is mostly in sync with where your voice is. And so I speak to you first. Look around and stop lying. We can blame the government for all the problems with the boat. And the government can put all the blame on the workers on the boat. And the government can blame the opposition for making politics. And we blame and we blame and we blame. Those of us on the opposition side, we blame. The boat old, the boat wasn't seaworthy. We bet all the documents now. But did we know that before Saturday night? Did we care? Did we care? Did we care? No, we did not. We cared about Azadin exposing a farm. That's where our energies go these days. We don't care that every day on the roadways, in our waterways, people are dying. The government doesn't care, and they tag us along with their nonsense. We're not thinking about the society. We're not thinking about life. It doesn't matter. The government said they're giving $100 cash grant tomorrow. All of us stop mourning for those people at the bottom of the ocean. My people, the African in Guyana, knows what it is to lie in the cold bottom of an ocean. We know. And yet black people make the ass of themselves sometimes. Because if anybody, if any group should have an inner sense of humanity and tragedy, it's us. We couldn't know that the boat was not seaworthy because we didn't care. Politics for us now have become so shallow and narrow. I get fed up of these videos. People said to me, that video about some little stupidness. People lie down in the bed half naked and I'm on the live. And that's what, as a nation, we have gotten into. We listen to people, we call them influencers. People who are influencing us can't even influence their own self. So I am doing what everybody doing. We have to know what went wrong. And it's clear to any jackass that a lot went wrong with that boat. Can't tell me how many people were on a vessel in 2026. A lot is wrong. But we will beat up the PPP government. They will beat up journalists. We will bury our dead. We would mourn. And as soon as Azadin or Terence Campbell go and stand up in front of the house and said, this is simplicity, we gone back to it. Because that's what we have reduced politics and society to in Guyana. I'm just sick of it. And I have to be critical, not just of the politicians, but you all the followers. I'm sick of it. Were you there? Were you there? The mind. Well, people that say, you know, dead come and dead done, family done. At least they had family. We don't have family. We Guyanese are not a family. We cuss and we fight and we squabble every day. And then independence come and we all watch the flag, and no wonder the flag refused to go up at Independence night. Even the flag is rebelling against our lives. Emancipation is coming, and we all are going to dress up in our African garb, and we will go to the national park or wherever we will go, and we will talk about emancipation and slavery. And as soon as we done eat the little food, little kanki or whatever, we done with that. The politicians will dress and go to the national park, and not one day would they talk about the African and the suffering of the African. We are such big liars. Some Indians are going to dress and go there, and the next day they're cussing David Hinds. What you're talking about slavery? They're going to celebrate and observe slavery. And the next day they will cuss the hell out of me and tell me how my mother met me because I talk about slavery. And you black people will go there and do the same. And the next day will say, David, man, you must not think everything is about race. We are such a liar society. You would bring a politician on here who will talk about black tragedy, will talk about black suffering, and never one time use the word African or black. Guyanese. What the hell is Guyanese? Oh yes, when we're on the cricket field, we could talk about Guyanese because at that level, we have the semblance of nationhood. We suspend the barriers. Dave Martin sang about Chanja Paul and Hooper. Black people are going to rally around Moti. So on the cricket field, we are closer to what nationhood could look like. Culturally, politically, no. We're a country of liars. We're also a country of cowards. And when tragedy strikes, cowards and cowardice cannot deal with it. A government looks after a nation, but there's no nation for our government to look after. The nation didn't vote for the government. Part of the nation voted for the government. The other part didn't vote for the government. Half of the people voted for the government. The next half didn't vote for the government. Half of the country voted for the government. The next half didn't vote for the government. And governments are made up of people. You don't vote for me, I spite you. And they have that end the government fighting to get the next half out and get into government. Is anyone thinking of putting together a nation, a society? When I am in my village, Buxton, I feel the feelings of society at a certain level. I feel like there are people there who look out for me. I feel like there's an identification. But what the politicians have done is that they've sent agents of disloyalty into our midst. And even at that basic level of the village, we stop trusting each other as brothers and sisters. Because we don't trust each other as brothers and sisters as a country. And that seeps down into the communities. We're a nation of cowards. Only cowards are afraid to confront the hard consequences of history. Every time I hear that nonsense from young people and big people that, don't worry the history, let me look forward. An ignorant people is an ignorant society. Ignorant of your history, you're ignorant of who you are as a community, as a nation, if there is such a thing as a nation. Tragedy strikes. And what do? We lash out at each other. we snatch on to the government and beat the government. The government becomes even more insecure at them and them alone. When death come, you holler, oh my God, neighbor, oh God, I am dead. Long time you send them picnic. Go tell your auntie, go tell your cousin. And we get dead. Nowadays, you go on social media and the phone. Death and tragedy are by their definition a collective phenomenon. Yet the government is running around, excluding people. What do they know of tragedy? Who only tragedy know? And then the opposition trying to score points. That is what we have been reduced to as a society. I don't want to score points on people's demise, people's tragedy. Those people didn't ask to die. They didn't ask to go on that boat to die. And if for one day we can't reach for something beyond our narrow, nasty party politics, we don't deserve to call ourselves a nation. A country, yes. Not a nation, not a society. We're a country. A country basically means common, we live in a land with common borders. We get a national anthem, we get a national flag, we get constitution. That's what country means. When we say Guyanese, we're talking about a civic identity. But when we talk about a society, when we talk about a nation, we're talking about something deep inside the soul. I'm not against politics. I'm in politics. I'm not against the opposition pointing out the wrongs of the government on this matter. I'm not against the government as the government taking charge of things. What I'm against is the commonness, the selfishness, the backwardness. And that is seeping down to our young people. Yesterday was Sunday. We would have gone to church and we would have prayed for our countrywomen and our countrymen, children and workers, ordinary people. I could have been on that boat because I can't afford a helicopter if I were going to Northwest. There are some people in this society who that tragedy doesn't go to their heart because they will never find themselves on a ferry going to Region 1. They will never find themselves on an 80-year-old boat ferry going to Region 1. This thing don't matter to them. That's why they behave in such nasty way. The majority of you, the majority of our country could have been on that ferry. If I were going to Northwest, I would have been on that ferry. But there's a slice of our society who ain't going on no ferry, no 80-year-old ferry to Northwest. They would have been flown to Northwest. And that is why looking after the ferry, getting a new boat, paying the workers well, and a priority for this government or for any government. When we're in the opposition, we can say a lot. We don't have a collective ethos. You don't wait until your people die in numbers, and then you go and look after the welfare. I'm sick, tired. As Fannie Lou Amos said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of how shallow we have become. You're showing me documents. No. Thank you for showing me the documents. Oh, the ferry bad and so on. Where the hell were you on Friday? You're showing me it now on Monday. Where were you on Saturday or Friday? Why you didn't show it to the nation then? God damn it! You know, finding out the crew smoking marijuana? Is now you find out? Most of the country smoking marijuana every day. Because you're all in government and you're all in opposition and you're all in power. You are smoking something every day. We'll have to contend with all the ranting of the opposition for the next couple of days and the nastiness in the government, from the government. We'll have to contend with it. We will see them jumping over each other to rescue people from the sea and to fish out dead bodies from the sea. Don't impress me, and it shouldn't impress you all. Those lives could have been saved if as a country, we develop a politics of welfare, the welfare of the people, the welfare of the collective. If we don't develop a politics of, first and foremost, the welfare of the people, then the welfare of the people will never be looked after. Don't tell me, you all know I like cricket, and I have to listen to the commentators talk about the development in Guyana. And, you know, the Indian ones are more euphoric. But all of them, oh, what, look the development. What the hell are they saying now when we have to fish 100 and something people out of the seas? Is that development? We have become so sick as a nation and a region that people come in our country, our brothers and sisters from other Caribbean countries, they know nothing or they don't care that a boat is waiting to capsize. And they show pictures of how developed Guyana is, how the hell you can be developed, and you have on the high seas an 80-year-old ferry. I love Samuel Badri and Ganga and Bishop and all of them who walling them out. They're good people, but they come here and they're not looking beneath the surface, and they should know better. An 80-year-old ferry on the high seas, an 80-year-old boat on the high seas. I asked them, is that development? No, it's not. It's underdevelopment. No amount of highways, no amount of bridge could have saved those people. Somebody had to be thinking of the safety and the welfare of the nation. But there is no nation. It is not what you do for people after their demise. It is what you do to prevent senseless tragedy. You build shiny bridges to impress your people to buy their votes. But the people from the Northwest, you're not putting a modern ferry beating up on workers that they've smoked dope and they this and that and that. But the whole country smoke marijuana. That's not the issue. The issue is that you, the rulers, and the people who vote for you, and even the people who oppose you, you all smoking something every day. Because you're all on a high. And the nation is on a high too. If there is such a thing as a nation. Sick and tired of it. I am. When I was a boy, our country had some sense. Guyana has no sense now. Wayward, lied, pretentious. And when a country don't have sense, those things happen. And when they happen, we can't make sense of it. It's a sin. It's a sin to have an 80-year-old ferry. I don't care what you say. It's a sin. You got money. 50% of the budget on infrastructure. Until you all figure out And then you all include me, we who are the top and call me self-leader, and I are the bottom that call you all self-followers. And how do we figure out that we got to clean up our country, the psyche of our country, and we have to clean up the government, have to take out the wax from the ears, the boo-boo from the eye. Until we figure that out, we're going to remain in some deep shit. All kinds of excuses we make to accommodate with tragedy, because the government is a tragedy, the political parties are tragedies, the country become a collective tragedy. Because we sit up where we are, and people come on half naked, lie down on the bed, and chatting nonsense to you all, and you all flacking them in thousands, say they're influencers. And when they call some picket, you all pretend like you're on an ear that they call a picket. There's plenty of love here tonight. But there are times when the love has to be tough, as Black Americans would say. Skin our teeth too much. We accommodate to nonsense. Get up! Like people all over the world. Get busy. And get this kind of government and governance out the way. Crapo already smoking we pipe.